Nvidia's earnings are in 2 weeks, and the big question is, should you buy Nvidia, right? Looking at the current all this environment about tariff and all, and the recent run up in Nvidia and the other semiconductor chip, the big question is, should you buy Nvidia? And that's what we are gonna answer in this video. I'm gonna break it down fundamentally, technically, and where Nvidia stands, and at the end I'm gonna give you some bonus tips on how to play this earnings as well. So if you are interested in all that, then stick around, and with that, let's start. Hello guys, welcome to AD Finance, and today we are talking about Nvidia, right? They have earnings on May 28th after market close, and that's the day when you will know what Nvidia does, right? Whether it goes 10% up, whether it goes down. So let's look at first thing I want to look at fundamentally, right? So fundamentally, if you look at what happened, right, the recent let's break it down on recent news, right? Because if you remember, after Feb, everything went down, right? Even Nvidia, due to all that deep seek fear and everything, everybody was kind of writing off Nvidia that they do not need those powerful chips and all, and it completely went down, right? But suddenly now, with all the market, even though the other stocks are kind of okay, but Nvidia and other semiconductor chips, right, they have a good run up, right? If you look at in the last 2 weeks, they have gone a very good exponential run, right? So one of the big thing that I noticed is, if you look at this report, right, the Trump administration actually considering a large scale sale of AI centric chips to G42, and that's a UAE based AI company, and that's gonna be a very significant for Nvidia, because this deal involves thousands of powerful Nvidia GPUs, right? And that's gonna be a big deal for Nvidia, and that gonna reflect in years to come, right? And even the stock price, if you look at, right, that's not too high if you compare to the other AI field stocks, right? Like Palantir, if you look at Palantir, it's kind of parabolic, but Nvidia is not that. So that's makes it very interesting. And let's look at some other factors, right? If you look at the second thing I want to look at is the forecast that analysts have given, right? So if you look at the forecast, right, I think almost if you look at this 40 ratings, right, that is given by the industry analysts, and they are the experts in this area, right? So out of 40, if you look at 34 have given them a strong rating, right? And they have given that a strong buy, right? And with the price target of 164, right now it's hovering almost touching the $140 mark, and they are giving a $164 on the higher side. Now personally, what my take is, I'm going to discuss towards the end what I think about this and should you buy. So stick around, and let's continue. So that's the analysts say, and they are actually, if you look at the news, right, the recent news which I shared, based on that, and if you look at their fundamentals on overall the revenue versus earnings, and their earnings per share for the last whole year, right, that they have always got a beat on their revenue, right? So if you look at their revenue versus earnings, this has always been beat on whole 2024, right? Even the same thing, most of the analysts are giving a strong buy signal. Earnings per share, everything is good, right? So fundamentally, I would say that if you look at all these factors, fundamentally this stock is still, I would say, cheap compared to all the other stocks, right? Even after this recent run up, this is still a good time to buy. But let's not forget the technical things, right? Because right now, these days, the market sometimes does not care about fundamental. All the fundamental looks good, but even the stock goes down, right? So we have to look at how this stock shows in the technical charts, right? So that's the next thing I'm gonna discuss. Okay, let's look at the technical things, right? Because those are very important as well. So this is the Nvidia chart, right? And this is the complete year chart, if you look at the recent thing, right, it kind of came down and then now recently it kind of going back up, right? And that is very important. If you look at this particular area, they had a lot of consolidation going around and they were not able to kind of move past this 150, right? So 150 between like actually 150 it came only once, I would say 140, right? So 140 is the area where it has a strong resistance line, right? So that's the key level to watch out for, because if it breaks that 140, it's gonna go up because there's a lot of gap that it has not filled, and those gaps is gonna be filled. And if you look at current last week, right, run up, it is kind of about to break that 140 mark, right? And that is very crucial. Even in technical chart, if you look at, this has been consolidating for a very long time and this is almost about to break that resistance, right? So do watch out for that. Another thing that I noticed in this, if you look at the 20 SMA and 50 SMA, if you look at, right, this 20 SMA is about to cross this 50 SMA. So in all probability, in that, looking at this technical chart, even if you don't do too much, just look at these things combined with RSI and the volume, this is gonna be a huge breakout after the earnings. Even to the run up to the earnings, this is gonna be a great buy. So my opinion is very clear, this is a strong buy, guys. So even if you buy at this price, that's fine, you can definitely get in. This is gonna go break that 140 mark and it's gonna go up higher, right? So there are some option plays which this video is gonna be long, so I'm gonna make a separate video on how you can do options play in this, right? So if you have not subscribed yet, do subscribe, because that's gonna be my next video where you would exactly know there are a lot of ways to play this. There is a simple way, just buy and hold and wait for the earnings, right? But there is a smarter way using options, so that's what I'm gonna explain in my next video. So do subscribe for that. Otherwise, for this video, fundamentally, technically, this stock is gonna go up. So if you have not yet into Nvidia, do get in. This is the time. That was it, guys, for this video. I'm gonna talk to you in my next video. Till then, happy investing. Bye bye.